We are solo mining, as always. But tonight we're solo mining on steroids. Just check this out. We have, let's see, right now, 7.52 petahashes worth of hash rate. Now, to put that into perspective, my day-to-day mining farm here at the house puts out about 125 terahashes per second. This is 7,520 terahashes per second, and it's going to go up a little bit. I think we'll have about 8.5 by the time everything ramps up and it's all said and done. Because tonight, I have rented some hash rate, and we're going to try our best to solo mine a Bitcoin block. We're increasing our chances quite a bit. So, again, 125 versus 8,500. But you know what's kind of interesting? When I started this channel, I started making videos about cryptocurrency trading bots, just because there were certain things I was working on that were taking all sorts of time, and there were a lot of hurdles that I encountered during that project. And I thought, you know what, since I'm standing in front of the computer all this time, standing, because I have a stand-up desk here, maybe I'll make some videos and just record what I'm doing, and maybe it'll help somebody out. And those videos got like 30 views, 40 views, but occasionally somebody would say, hey, thanks a lot, that really helped me out. So I kept making them. I made a few. And then one day, I decided to make a video about trying to make $1 million in 100 days, or a video series rather. And so I decided to commit myself to 100 days of posting on social media. And basically the concept was I was going to try everything I could to make $1 million in 100 days. So playing the lottery, buying scratch-off tickets and all that stuff, placing bets on Kalshi, continuing to work on the cryptocurrency trading bot. And the other thing I added to that list was doing this solo Bitcoin mining thing, because I thought that would be another thing I could kind of add that, you know, does its thing every day, and hopefully it makes us a whole bunch of money. And if it does, then, you know, we can take that money and reinvest it and try to make that $1 million goal. But as I continued on with this little project, which I stopped after about 25 days, I realized that I really like the solo desktop mining stuff, the Bitcoin mining stuff. I don't like gambling. I realized that pretty quick. And playing the lottery is not very fun either. I actually won like a whole bunch of lottery tickets, $5, $10 here and there, but I don't really enjoy it. And most of the time, you know, you win some and then you go and you trade that ticket in for more tickets, and then those all lose, and then you're back at square one. And, you know, I never hit it big in the lottery, so it wasn't much fun. But with the solo mining stuff, there's lots of stuff I really like. I get to tinker with these high-tech gadgets. So there's an actual, like, tangible thing that I can play around with. And the stats of it all, you know, the fact that I can check in on it and kind of see it working away, or see the devices working away, and just knowing that at any chance, or at any second rather, there's a chance that one of these things could hit a block and make $300,000. I just find that very, very fascinating. And so it's one of those things that kind of results from whenever you push yourself to do something, whatever that thing is. And in this particular case, it was me trying to post every single day on social media. I didn't want to do that, but I thought, let's just do it and see what happens. When you do anything that you don't want to do and you push yourself towards some sort of goal, you always learn something about yourself in the process. And one of the things I learned about myself is that I really like this whole Bitcoin mining thing. And it's kind of evolved into, now I'm making parts for these things. I started a little company where I'm designing stuff, and the products are turning out really cool. I'm getting to connect with people all over the world, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I don't know where else this is going to take me, what roads it's going to lead me down, but right now I've got a desk full of miners. I got miners in the back over there, and I've got a 3D printer making miner parts, and here I am talking about Bitcoin mining again, because I like it. So back to the topic at hand. Tonight, I have decided to rent some hash rate. And the reason I did that was just for fun. Let's see what happens. Let's try to wildly increase our power here, our hash rate, and let's roll the dice and see what happens. So for the first bit of this time slot that I rented, oh my gosh, see, now we're 8.9 petahashes a second. So 8,910 terahashes a second. So my usual 125, now we have 8,910. It's pretty cool. I don't even remember what I was saying. My 3D printer is making all kinds of weird noises over there. Basically, I just wanted to see what would happen, and I thought it would be cool to have that much muscle behind my solo mining effort. It's like having a garage full of Bitmain S23s or something, and I like that. You know, it was relatively affordable. It cost me, I think, about one Litecoin or something for 3 hours, so not terribly bad. And I extended it a little bit. And we're gonna let it roll and see what happens. Now, my expectations are reasonable. I don't know that I don't know that I have a snowball's chance in hell. Although I will say this, the odds of finding a block here, these numbers are not actually correct. These need to update. I don't know why they're so wildly off. Taking a look at this on solarchance.org, let's see what we have. So 8.9, let's see what that comes out to. So our chances right now with 8.9 petahashes, we have a 1 in 852 chance per day. We have a 1 in 122 chance per week of hitting a Bitcoin block. Bitcoin block is worth something like $315,000 or something like that. Typically, with my normal setup, I have 125, and my chance per day is 1 in 60,000. So as you can see, it's a huge step up from what I typically have. And I'm hoping that when I go to bed tonight and I wake up, I will be $300,000 richer. I want to know the actual numbers on this, so let's find out. So let's see, 3.125 BTC to USD. What's that come out to right now? So it's $317,000 is what you get if this thing does its deal, and I manage to solve a Bitcoin block with all of this hash rate muscle that I have working on my behalf tonight. So pretty cool. It's exciting stuff. This is total nerd stuff in a way. Although in this community, there's this like wide range of people. You definitely have your kind of nerdy, computer-loving tech types, and that's me. You know, I've been a big computer fan since I was a little kid. I started ripping computers apart and modifying them and writing code when I was very, very young. And that has remained consistent throughout my life as a developer, which is what I do for a career. So I definitely have that nerdy aspect to me. But there's a lot of people that do this. I mean, you know, for the most part, anybody that wants to make money, I think this appeals to. I've said this all the time, but there are not many things that you can go out and buy for a few $100 that could potentially give you a shot at making like house money or Ferrari money, or, you know, buy a whole bunch of spider monkeys and live in a Miami condo money or whatever. I don't know. And so I think that appeals to a lot of people. Now, recently, a small device, a Nerd QX++ with 6.5 terahashes a second, managed to hit a block. It was a couple weeks ago, and it was all verified by the community, and it was really exciting because everyone that has these was cheering because they think, so you're telling me there's a chance? So you're telling me there's a chance? And of course, when people heard about this on TikTok and Facebook and Reddit and everything else, they ran out to buy them. And now you can't even buy these things because they are back ordered and out of stock, and they can't make them fast enough. And so the community is growing, and I think it's really cool for a number of reasons. I think it's cool for the people who sell these types of products because it allows them to do what they love and make a good living at it. But beyond that, the people who get into this, it tends to inspire this journey of learning. And the reason it does that is because when you buy one of these things and you're all excited about it because it's new and it's cool and they're interesting looking, and you know, it's kind of fun. Oh, wow. Now we're at 9.01 petahashes a second. I can't talk, I'm tired. 9.01 petahashes a second. But anyway, you plug this thing in, you get it configured, and it's doing its thing. It doesn't really need much in the way of inputs from you. It's just doing its deal. And you still have this enthusiasm and this excitement for it, and so where do you channel that energy? And typically what people do is they will go out and buy another miner, and so now they have two, and then they start playing around with mining other coins. So now they're mining Bitcoin with one and Bitcoin Cash with another, and kind of goes on from there. People want to learn about setting up their own nodes. They want to learn more about how the blockchain works as a whole and all these other things. And so that's why I always say it kind of inspires this path or journey of learning about things, which is great. And that's one of the things I like the most about it. It keeps you busy, keeps you out of trouble, it keeps you off the smack or the dope or the whatever else people would do if they weren't playing with desktop Bitcoin miners. But at the end of the day, the idea with these things is if they complete their task, they make a whole bunch of money. And I think for anybody to have that type of thing where you can wake up in the morning and check it every single day and you see, you know, hey, did I win? Did I win? Did I win? It's kind of like the lottery, but a lot cooler. I guess, the Powerball or one of those tickets that you buy where they draw the balls. It'd be most similar to that. With the scratch-offs, they're so instant gratification. You get it, you scratch it, you lose, it's done. But at least when you buy like a Powerball ticket, which if you live in another country, Powerball is our big lottery here in the United States. It gets up to like 1.5 billion USD sometimes, and people go crazy. You get these poor little people in rural towns that win like $1 billion, and then they go crazy. One guy started buying a bunch of fire trucks and like 10 Lamborghinis and left his wife and, old guy. Now he's got like a whole bunch of 25-year-old girlfriends. It's wild. But Powerball is one of those things. When you buy it, you have to wait until 11 o'clock at night or whatever when they actually draw the numbers. And so you have that time. Let's say you buy your ticket at 5 o'clock. Then you go to 11 o'clock at night. And at least have that gap in time where, 6 hours you can dream about what you're going to do or what you would do if you happen to win the lottery. I'd buy this, I'd buy that, I'd go here, I'd go there. And these miners kind of give you that same thing. They give you that sense of, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm $300,000 richer, what will I do? Will I take my family on a vacation? Will I go buy a sports car? Will I pay off all my bills? I mean, it all depends on your unique situation, I guess. If you're already rich, you're just going to buy another bunch of Rolexes and another sports car probably. But if you're dirt poor and you're in debt, you're probably going to pay off that debt, find yourself a nicer place to live, whatever. But it's cool to dream. And so these are like little dream machines. And the more you have, the better chance you got. But to get to this level right here, where you've got 9 petahashes a second, you would have to spend an insane amount of money. I mean, an absolutely insane amount of money. I mean, like $100,000 or something, probably more than that. I have to do the breakdown on it to figure out exactly what it would cost. But a $5,000 machine will probably get you 200. Let me think about this for a second. So 20,000 per petahash. Yeah, that's a lot. You're looking at well over $100,000. Well over $100,000. Plus all the electricity it would cost to run something like this. It would be absolutely outrageous. You would have an astronomical electric bill if you had the machines capable of this. But I think it's really cool that you can rent this now, and you can boost your mining power for a little bit, and hopefully increase your odds, because otherwise your chances are terrible. You buy a little desktop miner. I mean, like I said, that guy did manage to win, but you're shot with like a NerdQX++. It's like 1 in a million every single day. So still better than like Powerball, where it's 292 million every time you buy a ticket, which is terrible. Still 1 in a million shot, which means you have like a 1 in 999,999 shot of not getting a block. So not the greatest odds. But with this, again, we're at 9 petahashes a second. Let's see what that would break down to. So 9 petahashes a second, our chance of winning today, we have a 1 in 843 chance. So a 1 in 842 chance of not winning, I guess. Or I don't know. No, we have a much shot. We have an 842 out of 843 chance of not winning. But we do have that one chance. But still better than a 1 in a million chance. So that's pretty cool. To see that number shrink down a bit and to see it become a lot more possible, I guess. I mean, again, the lottery odds, if they're like 1 in 290 million, you're talking 1 in 843. That's not terrible. It's very possible. Something could happen. And it could happen at any second. That's what I love. These little miners that I have on my desk here, and I've made a whole bunch. I would like turn the camera around and show you, but there's a ton of videos on my channel. If you go to any one of my videos, most of them anyway, I show all the miners that I've got, talk a lot about them. I've got all those things working hard on my behalf. They're working for me, man, selflessly. It's not for them, it's for me, and I love that. But I also have all these other miners, and they are working way harder, and they're doing it for me. They're trying to make me some money. They're trying to change my life. Not that it would change a whole lot. If I got $300,000, but it would change what I'm going to do for the next couple of days, that's for sure. Because I would get on a plane, and I would go to Turkey, and I would visit family, and spend some time with people I love, and drink some tea, overlooking some mountains maybe, the sea. That'd be nice. I need a little break from Florida here, where I spend most of my time. I could use a break from Florida, even though Florida is pretty nice these days. So I don't know how this thing's going to turn out. I don't know if this is going to be a total waste of money. I don't think it will be, just from the standpoint of I am enjoying watching it, and I am enjoying the excitement of having all of this muscle and seeing this 9.02 petahashes in my favor trying to make me some money. You can see my other miners down here. I've got my Avalon Q, that's at 106. These two that are at 5.74 and 5.46, those are my NerdQX pluses. Below that, I've got a couple of GTs, and I have my Gamma down here at the bottom. Now, generally, these are all a little bit higher. I have everything turned down right now, so I don't have to listen to fan noise while I'm recording a video. But the Avalon Q is cranking away in super mode, getting 106 terahashes a second. But 106 is nothing compared to the 9,000 terahashes that whatever this thing is. I actually reached out to the rental owner and I said, hey, what kind of miners are you using? And they did not answer me. So I don't know if it's a secret. They don't want me to know, or maybe they're just sleeping. Who knows? I don't know if it's malicious. I don't think they're trying to hide anything. But I would be very curious as to know what their setup is. I would, as I'm into this kind of stuff, I would probably use them more for this if I knew what was going on. I want to see the in-depth side of things. I want to know what they're using. I want to know what kind of miners are working for me here. Now, I'm using a site called MiningRigRentals.com. I have no affiliation with them. I don't have a referral code or link to give you. I got nothing. This is just something I found through some Reddit searches. Somebody was trying to sell me on OneClickMiner.com, and I took a look at that. It was actually very cheap. It was cheaper than MiningRigRentals.com. The thing I don't like about it is you have to use their pools, and so automatically I do not trust it. With this, I can use any pool that I want to use. Right now I'm using CK Pool. Typically I mine to my own node, but for this little experiment I'm using CK Pool. It's a trusted pool. It's kind of the OG pool, and so that's what I'm using. But I like the fact that I can use any of my own pools, and doing so, I'm able to verify that I'm getting what I'm paying for. I can see exactly how much hash rate I'm getting. I can see that it's connected to my wallet. There's no tomfoolery going on. None of that stuff. It is just pure mining power, all verifiable and trusted. I do not trust somebody if they say, hey, you can rent some hash rate, but trust me here. Here's how much you're getting. Just take my word for it. It's connected to my pool and it's giving you 25 petahashes. Take my word for it. I don't trust anybody in the crypto space, not at all. In fact, I can't think of any industry where there are more untrustworthy individuals. Maybe used car sales. That'd probably be a close one, but I think cryptocurrency is just like a magnet for scammers and schemers and bamboozlers. And so if there's no transparency, or if there's somebody's telling me to like trust them or take their word for it, I never do. I refuse. Very skeptical that way. And so MiningRigRentals.com, I can verify is legit. It does work. I was kind of skeptical. I was like, I wonder what's going to happen when I actually give them money. But a lot of people on Reddit had confirmed that they had tried it before and it had worked for them. It seemed like it was pretty community verified, I guess. And so I thought I would roll the dice with them. And again, once I saw it connected to my pool, we were good to go. Now I started with via BTC at first, mining for Bitcoin Cash. I started with Solo Pool in the beginning. For some reason, the miner wouldn't connect with them. I don't know what the issue was. And so we switched to via BTC just because I didn't have time to waste. Then, after it ran its course and I got no Bitcoin Cash blocks, I then switched to CK Pool, and now we're going for Bitcoin. It would be fun to get a Bitcoin Cash block. I think you'd make like $1,500, but that's really not what I'm after. I'm after that huge block reward. I'm not going to go wake my wife up in the middle of the night if I win $1,500. She's going to tell me to leave her the hell alone. However, if I make $300,000, I'll wake the whole family up. I'll go screaming and yelling, and they won't care. They'll be happy about it. They'll be singing and screaming and dancing with me because we will be taking a little unplanned vacation this weekend, and I think that would be great. So that's pretty much the story of what's going on here in the Karpuz mining lab tonight. We also designed some stands. I worked on some stands. I was really proud of those. I made some shorts about that. I'll make a little video about it later. A little longer video, I guess, to talk about what those are and what they do. But some of that stuff's turning out really cool, and I'm really excited about it. Developing these products and just having something kind of in my mind that all of a sudden gets printed by the Magic Box, the Prusa Core 1 3D printer. And then I'm able to hold it in my hands and see it and use it, and it attaches to the, whatever I'm doing, the Bitcoin miner or whatever it is, and when it fits and works, it's awesome. It's like this huge gratifying sense I get. So that is exciting stuff. But I don't know how this mining thing's all going to pan out. Okay, now we just dropped a whole petahash. Oh no. Now we're down to 8.09. Oh my goodness, that sucks. So we're still pretty good though. It's like 8,090 terahashes a second. That's pretty strong. So we'll see if this thing is able to do anything cool. If it does, I will make a follow-up video to this, and I will say, hey, I made a block, or I found a block. No, I didn't make a block. I solved a block, and I will take a couple of pictures or some video from wherever I am hanging out on vacation. If it does not solve a block, that's going to be that. I'm not going to make any more videos about this one thing, unless I do this again. But next time, I will probably make a little more of an in-depth video about how to get set up on miningrigRentals.com, how to get connected, and all of that. That'd be kind of fun, but I thought since I'm standing here tonight and I'm watching this stuff and I'm trying to see how this all unfolds, I would make a quick video just to share my experience with you on my solo mining journey to solve a Bitcoin block once and for all and prove my wife wrong, who's always saying, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But it would be cool. Definitely would be cool. So I'm going to try to do this thing. I'm going to try to encourage these miners. I'm going to like send them some good energy. We have 2.6 hours remaining, and so we will see what happens when it's all said and done. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Of course, you can always send me a message on Instagram if you have something long or private to say. But keep it mining related. Every time I say this, people send me messages that are not related to mining. People just say stuff like, hey, how are you? And then they start talking about random stuff. And I'm a busy guy. I try to remind people that every video, I'm here to answer your questions. I like to talk about the mining stuff. It's fun for me and exciting. And I'm happy to lend you advice or help you get set up or whatever the case is. I don't want to just talk to you about the weather or the sky, or the politics, or Taylor Swift, or any of that shit. I got a lot going on, okay? So keep that in mind. You got a question about mining, send me a message. Happy to help. You just want to talk to somebody because you're bored, find somebody else, man. I'm busy. I got a family here. I got a couple businesses. I'm making YouTube videos. I'm making products. I'm doing all kinds of stuff over here. So just remember that. I'm a nice guy, but I'm a busy guy. That's all I got for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful night.